Hey guys, Thunderhound 369 here, and today we're going to be taking a look at Transformers Prime, Robots in Disguise, Deluxe Class, or Revealers, Cliffjumper. Now, picked this guy up at one of my local Walmarts. You know, these Prime figures are just now starting to roll in, you might say. Cliffjumper I found for right around $9.96. You know, close. You know, might as well say $10. You know, I've heard people say, you know, they downsized just a little bit and raised the prices up. You know, people have been finding these like for $13, $14 at retail. Yeah, I'll admit, you know, in the package he did look a little small, and you know, he is a little slightly smaller than the normal deluxe figure, but at least that didn't go take the prices up yet on me anyway. Anyway, you got the nice little artwork of Cliffjumper there, you know, just enough to make those of us that didn't get the first edition figure, you got the artwork on here by Hasbro, just enough to make you jealous. Oh well. Anyway, got his biography and everything back here. It says, Cliffjumper Autobot. Few Autobots are as fierce as Cliffjumper. The Decepticons long ago learned to fear the loud-mouthed warrior for the incredible skill with which he wields his battle hammer. Yeah, wield your battle hammer. Megatron and the Decepticons laid the smackdown on your ass and killed you, didn't they, jabroni? Rudy Poo, fresh and fruity candy ass, got killed within the first episode. Ha! Yeah. Anyway, we've got him here in his vehicle mode. Transformers Prime. Got them all lined up here. Now, the funniest thing about this, the picture from all of them from the show, is you've got Cliffjumper over here, but nowhere do you have Bulkhead. Kind of funny. Anyway, we'll go ahead and got his technical data on the side here. We'll take a look at that. It says strength is 8, intelligence 5, speed 6, endurance 6, rank 4, courage 8, fire blast 7, with the hammer. Fire blast with a hammer. Oh, I know what that means. I know what that means. His fire blast a 7 with the hammer. That is his exceptional skill at the video arcade game Whack-A-Mole. And his skill is 5. So there's the package. Out of the way. Done. First off, let's get this big chunk of plastic here out the way. This is the battle hammer. Just one big piece of gray molded plastic. Does have some fairly nice detail to it. It just clips on here or here. Either way, either or, but it looks kind of ridiculous. I mean, it's kind of heavy, a little hefty. Put it off to the side for now. Take a look at CJ here. Now, I gotta admit, I don't have the first edition to compare him to, so I'm just going to go with what I got here. Got nice little clear windows. I think on the first edition, those are a little more colored in, like a charcoalish gray or something like that. They're tinted. I'll put it that way. They're tinted. Anyways, you can see he's modeled after the either 1969 or 1970 Dodge Challenger. Very nice. Very nicely modeled after that. Got the nice little side pipes coming out on each side of the vehicle. Nice gray rims. I like it when they actually paint the rims, the wheels, instead of leaving the tire and the wheel and everything black. I like it when they actually paint the wheel itself. It's also got this nice little slammed look to it. It's got the wheels tucked up into the wheel wells. It's got a slammed look to it, so I like that as well. Got some pretty good detail here in the back, but it would have been nice if they'd you can see where the tail lights should be, but it would have been nice if they'd have been like a orange or a slightly brighter red, so you could tell where what those were supposed to be. The only thing, got this big hole right in the roof. The grill, got some pretty good detail to the grill. You got the horns. Now these horns are a rubbery, softer rubbery plastic, but the only thing I noticed is the tips, they're a little bit sharp on the tips, so make them safer by being softer, but we'll make them a little bit sharper in the process. That kind of surprised me there. That nice little side mirrors. Here underneath, you can see CJ there playing peekaboo with you, with his whole nice fake robot chest and everything, but he is playing peekaboo just there. Anyway, I'll go ahead and take a moment to get him all transformed up. I'll be right back, guys. Stick around. Alright guys, we're back. We got this jabroni here all transformed up into his robot mode. As you can see, Hit does look nice. I'm not going to complain about that. Hit looks good. It's a decent looking robot. The only faults I can find fault it, it does have, like the first edition, it does have a gap in the chest plate between the chest and the back piece, but it's not quite as noticeable as on the first edition. Because what I've seen of the first edition Cliffjumper, Optimus Prime could pretty much just drive straight through there. And just that wide open. That's pretty much, as far as the first edition Cliffjumper that I've seen, that's the only one thing that I really don't like about that figure. So it's just that gap. Just that gap throws me. And then we've got the gap on these arms on this figure. I don't know why I've had this guy for like 2 or 3 days now, and it seems like every time I transform him to robot mode, it seems like there should be something that goes in those gaps, and there's nothing. It's just a big gap, and it irks me. And then you've got the wide open hollow legs back here. That irritates me as well, but I can see why they did this. It's for the transformation, so I see why they did that. That doesn't bother me, but this seems like there should be some reason for that, but there's not. It's like you'd think this piece could come down and fill that in, or Hasbro could have at least put the hand blasters in there, or something. Could have done something to fill that in, but there's no way of doing it. But other than that, as far as this gap and this gap and that slight gap right there, that's about the only things I'm finding about this figure that really don't. They bother me, but I can overlook them. Except for this. This just gets on my nerves. There's just something I think could be done there. But anyway, everything you see, just red molded plastic. It does look good. It's got a nice little shine to it. Got the fake chest, fake windshield, fake headlights. On the first edition one, all this would have been transformable. But, that does look good. It looks all great. I like the idea of having all that transform. But to be honest with you, it makes the figure look a little bit blocky. But I'm not complaining, it still looks good. But this one just looks more compacted. It just looks more aesthetically pleasing to me. I don't know. There's probably going to be a lot of arguing going on over that. Some people like the first edition figure better. Some like this figure better. It's pretty much what you like, and to be honest with you, I kind of like this. I think it looks good. I think it looks great. You know, and it does have some great detail to it. But, you know, to each his own, you might say. To each his own. Let's leave it at that. To each his own. Since I don't have the first edition, this is what I've got. I like it. It looks good. It looks great. It looks awesome. So we'll leave it at that. As far as the back, you know, the hood, half of the roof, the trunk, all fold up into one big backpack. I mean, it doesn't look too bad. It all packs in kind of quite nice. You know, you get to actually get the bull horns tucked back in here instead of hanging off of his butt on the first edition one. Anyway, got a nice little, does have a nice little head sculpt. I'm not going to argue about that. He looks good. You know, and if you catch him at just the right angle, there is a slight little bit of light piping if you can catch him at the right angle, but I can't catch him at the angle because I don't have any sunlight coming through the windows at the moment. But anyway, his head, you know, and again, going back, he's got these nice little soft rubbery horns, but yet they got a nice little point to them. I mean, they are a little bit sharp. I did notice that as well. So anyway, got the nice little red head, some silver paint on the face plate, nice little articulation, move side to side. I mean, up, down a little bit. I mean, you can get the Night at the Roxbury's going on with this guy, doom, 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 just as long as you don't run his head through a window or anything like they did. You know, it does rotate somewhat, but I don't know if they're all designed this way, but this one won't go a full 360 at all. I don't know if it's some kind of design that they don't do that, or if it's just mine. As far as then his arm will rotate full 360, and every one of the joints on this guy are stiff. I mean, they are stiff. Goes out just a little. It can go out quite a ways, but you have to manipulate it around to do so because the tire actually hits everything in the back. Got the upper bicep. Got this double joint at the elbow. If you can get in it, like I said, this thing is tight as crap all the way around, but it does move. If you can get them in there to move, there's that one moving. You can see he's got the double joint going on. It does have, like I said, this guy is, every one of these joints are stiff as crap. Nice little waist going on. Hip joints on ball joints, so they will come out. Back, out to the side, as well as rotate. Nice knee joints, good and stiff knee joint. Bend it all the way up to there. And ankle joint, backwards, forwards, full 360, as well as rocker. Got the rocker, so you can get a wide range of motion out of these ankle joints, so, which means you can get this guy in some pretty good poses. Get these arms back down here, and his hammer, he can hold it quite well. You have to kind of like get it in there. And when the first time I put that hammer in there, I just about had to force it. Those hands are tight. They were tight as crap when I had to put that in there the first time. But he does hold his hammer quite well. You know, it's a little wobbly, but he can also hold it as a gun because there's a groove right there, and it fits that groove just enough to where he can hold it as a gun as well. So anyway, alright, there he is. Cliffjumper, Transformers, Robots in Disguise, Prime line. Let's see. What do I suggest? Well, I like the figure. It looks great. I'm not taking anything away from the first edition one. I'm not saying this one looks better than the first edition figure. But I will say this. If you don't have the means, if you're like me and you don't have the access to, or let me back up here. If you're like me and you're not willing to pay what the first edition figure is bringing online, you know, I haven't found this guy no cheaper than, like, you know, the first edition I haven't seen no cheaper than 30 bucks. I'm not paying that. I'm not. Even though I really do want him, I'm not paying it. Just like Bulkhead. As far as Bulkhead's concerned, he is pretty much the definitive Transformers Prime first edition figure that I would love to have in my collection. Would love to have him. But I'm not crazy enough to pay what he's bringing on eBay, on Amazon. I mean, I've looked on Amazon, I've looked on eBay, I've looked everywhere. The cheapest I have seen Bulkhead selling for is $139. Screw that. Screw that. You know, it's like I said, you know, it's like people saying, you know, the prices of the Prime figures have went up and the scale has went down. If I'd walked into Walmart and seen, you know, the size that he is and seen 13 bucks, I'd have left him hanging. I would have moved on to something different. So anyway, it's like I said, you know, I would love to have the first edition figures. And Charlie, what were you thinking? You nut. Get out of here. Come sliding in here like that. Crazy? Okay. Now, Charlie's had her little fit. I don't know if you actually caught her on camera, but anyway, I'm not paying the prices that those first edition figures are bringing. So, all I can suggest is, Lordy mercy, she's tore the house down. Now, let me get this over with before Charlie tears the house down. Anyway, do I recommend picking this guy up? Yes. If he is your only option, pick him up. You won't regret it. He's a great little figure. You know, I've been transforming him and playing around with him for the past 3 days. I've not put him down. I like the guy. I'm serious. I've transformed him to vehicle mode, put him down for a couple minutes, pick him right back up, put him in robot mode, set him down. 15, 20 minutes later, I pick him right back up. I like the guy. I mean, would I like to have the first edition one over him? Yeah, I would. But I'm settling for this. This is what I've got access to. So, there you go. I do recommend picking him up. If you don't have him, you won't be disappointed. I mean, he does look great, in my opinion. So, guys, I'm Thunderhound 369. This has been my look at Transformers Prime Robots in Disguise Deluxe Class Cliffjumper, or Revealer Cliffjumper. So again, pick him up. If you don't have him, you won't regret it. Again, I'm Thunderhound 369. This has been Cliff the Rock Jumper, and we are out of here. See you guys later.